All right, Chair Coster, it is a little bit after 4 o'clock. If you want to go ahead and start when you're ready.
Great, thank you, Brittany. I'd like to call to order the Art and Culture Commission meeting for January 22nd, 2024. Brittany, would you do the roll call, please?
Yes. Jonathan Rudder.
Present.
Allison Coster.
Here.
Dennis Krull.
Here.
Nathaniel Dickey. Paula Krogan.
Here.
Britta Trigstead. Chuck Hendrickson. Thank you. And we do have Assistant City Planner Ethan Jonk with us. He will be transitioning into the new staff liaison role with the Art and Culture Commission in coming months. So, brief update.
Is there a motion to amend or approve the January 22nd agenda?
I'll move to approve.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Nay? Is there a motion to amend or approve the November 20th, 2023 minutes?
I'll motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion, any additions, corrections? All those in favor of approving the minutes signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay? Are there any citizens to be heard on items not on this agenda?
Not this afternoon.
Thank you. Moving on to business items, 2023 annual report. Brittany, if you would please provide an overview.
Thank you, Chair Coster and Commission, for your time and support and dedication to the arts, culture, and placemaking efforts in Moorhead. 2023 saw the Forest Friends reemerge to Viking Ship Park, Moorhead Sculpture Walk nearing completion, expansion of the river arts with parks and recreation to entice more community interest, support for placemaking efforts with a recommendation for Build a Tonathon by FMCT and Sunset on the Riverfront by Folkways, participation in Movie in the Garden events with Plains Art Museum to expand offerings to visitors, and 4 utility box received unique art wraps throughout the city of Moorhead. Thank you all for a very successful year. Let me know if you have any questions on the annual report.
Brittany? Okay, then thank you, Brittany. Then we will move on to project discussion, past, present, and future projects. Brittany again.
Sounds good. So this report is the roadmap that provides historical context with current updates to show what has been done and projects in the works, current funds available for public art projects, and ideas to consider in future discussions. As the Commission has proactively discussed projects for the upcoming year, I will just briefly highlight a couple items. Current public art fund is set for $10,000 for 2024. Donation funds are available for potential projects as well. And then projects to consider have been updated to reflect ideas generated by the Commission over the previous discussions of 2023. Please let me know if you have any questions or feedback.
Very exciting to see that the public art fund is basically double from previous years. Yay! Any comments or feedback for Brittany on this? Then we'll move on to project discussion, 2024 project exploration. Once again, here's Brittany.
All right, so the commission has refined project ideas to identify potential Moorhead sculpture walk expansion and Moorhead sesquicentennial projects to be further explored. Interest in a sculpture was received, much attention, something to create a historical connection. This could provide an opportunity to work with the new Moorhead Sculpture Walk Working Group on a project in the coming year. A video series could cover many topics and highlight Moorhead's rich history with additional detail of what is most important related to this option. It could be further developed. The interactive map could create a location to store images and recordings for future inquiry while providing a story display for the user. This option would provide an opportunity to grow Moorhead stories in general. Staff is looking for feedback and guidance on which project or projects should be initiated in 2024. Please let me know if you have any questions.
Thoughts? Opinions? When, Brittany, should we, what? What am I trying to say? When should we choose kind of our priority to go towards, and, you know, or priorities?
I would say the sooner would give us more time to do a little bit more research and make additional contacts. We didn't want to be premature on doing any of that, so.
So some discussion today would be beneficial.
Yes, certainly.
Discuss.
Okay. Well, I mean, would it be okay if we went through the projects in the order listed? Well, speaking as the commission representative for the Moorhead Sculpture Walk Working Group, if, you know, the citizen suggestion to focus our efforts on sculpture that would recognize the indigenous peoples of our area. You know, as I think I indicated at our November meeting, I think there would be some good grants that could target such a project. So, you know, that may enable either the working group or this body to have a little bit more wiggle room as to the public funds that are currently available for these three projects.
Sounds like we should definitely pursue those additional sources of funding, and I don't, any idea what the deadlines for some of these
Well,
might, are they springtime or, you know?
I'd be very happy to explore some of the different grant possibilities and report back on that.
Be awesome.
Yes, a remaining question on that front would be, you know, by, you know, if we would want to figure out the commission, the Sculpture Walk Working Group, the process by which we arrive at the placement of the sculpture as well as who we work with to make sure that it's an authentic representation of indigenous voices in our area.
Presume, placement kind of, we could narrow it down to, like, say, the, kind of the general area, I don't know, for example, around the Main Avenue Bridge, but then it kind of depends on what the piece is. If it's, a traditional sculpture of like a person, for example, or if it's something that needs to fit into a kind of a particular environment or something. Any idea how long it typically takes from well, to kind of define some parameters and then put a call out and get responses? Is that like a 4-month process or a 6-month process or a 2-month process?
I would say it depends on how quickly all groups could kind of assemble, I suppose. We could start drafting something and look for those funding opportunities and kind of go from there. Yeah.
We need to have funding nailed down to real dollar amounts before we put the call out, or can it be kind of flexible?
I would say that we'd probably want to make sure that we've secured the majority and know where those sources are. But we do have some donation fund availability there too. So, but then we can certainly look at the grants to help supplement. So.
Yeah, certainly. There are going to be some grants that call for the whatever entity is funding it to provide matching funds. Others might be able to fund such a project in its entirety. I'll, by what point would the chair like my report back on some of the grants that are out there?
The chair defers to Brittany.
We could even just do like a brief update, maybe at like the next meeting, perhaps. Okay.
Or if it's a 10-minute project, I don't know, just shoot her an email with some ideas or something. And
Can do.
Thank you.
You're the right person to have on this commission, because you know things directly. I like that.
I know things in my comfortable little sphere.
Then any discussion about the video series or the interactive map, that are detailed a little bit more in our packets. Seeing some of the questions under the video series, what approach and what themes, and I'm kind of like, if Mark Peel and Marcus Kruger want to kind of just, throw out a list of 50 topics and as kind of seeds, and then, whatever MSUM or Concordia or M-State students or, AP English in high school or, anybody that wants to do something, it's like even a a poorly told story is still a story that, might otherwise be lost. And and I'm not I'm not saying they're going to be cranking out poor stories, but it's like they don't have to be, professional, polished, published pieces. They can be, all skill levels and still tell the story.
Is there interest in initiating this project this year as well, or does this seem to be kind of more of like a 2025 project?
It's a good question. With either the video series or the interactive map, I mean, it's kind of nice to, I imagine it would be kind of nice to have some of these assets at the ready, coming right into the sesquicentennial. So, I don't know, that kind of makes sense to me.
Start now so that we can accumulate as many stories and videos and whatever as possible.
Right. Yeah, have the comfort of a full year's lead time to figure all of this out, deal with production, and if maybe that means that they don't premiere until 2025, but at least they're ready to go at that point.
With the colleges, the local colleges already, starting their spring semester a week or two ago, I'm not saying that the faculty wouldn't support this, but it might be easier to get word out now so that then they can really integrate it into their course teachings for like the fall and spring, and maybe still do something this spring. The antiquated machine that is higher education.
So you're proposing as a first step to reach out to Mark and Marcus and identify.
I think that there might be others too that, but people who are knowledgeable about some of the high points in Moorhead's history. It doesn't have to exclusively be them, but just we need some seed ideas that then maybe spark other ideas as well.
Yeah, and depending on the number of them, that could help to dictate the number of videos and the duration as well.
And it could fold in some of the things that Chuck keeps bringing up about, there could be several stories about Ralph's or about buildings that were notable that no longer exist or no longer exist in their once amazing form. whole smorgasbord of stories rather than just focused on any one particular. Other thoughts? Don't make me be the only one talking here.
Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you for your feedback. I will make sure to keep the interactive map then kind of under the ideas for maybe 2025 then, as these other projects get going, and we'll revisit it then.
All right. Well, shall we move on to number 6, reports and information? Does anyone have any reports or information to share about upcoming things or things that they're working on?
Let me pull up the calendar on my phone so I actually am relating the correct dates.
We do have the Enchanted River Walk. It's a half-mile portion of the Moorhead River Corridor Trail, spanning from Woodlawn to the Yumcomps. The section of trail is illuminated with light and has temporary interactive artistic installations. So make sure to walk it and stop and enjoy. The installations were prepared by FMCT and Kids Co. Oh. Should be very pretty.
Do we know, I have seen some chatter on the local Moorhead Facebook page, is it Mary's Tunnel? Is that reappearing this winter?
So I know that that was removed. I don't know if it will be reappearing.
At the museum, a couple weekends ago, we opened Sherry Lee Short's exhibit, Entwined. We've got that in the main gallery, and by museum, I mean the Rourke. Apologies. On Saturday, the 3rd of February from 1 to 4 p.m., as part of Frostival, we're doing the winter warm-up at the Rourke. It's a public event where folks can shop for ceramic mugs from local makers, as well as some knit goods from a local maker, and we will have some fire pits out in our sculpture court, as well as free cocoa for everybody who comes. That'll be on February 3rd, and we have an open call presently for a little group exhibit we're doing for Valentine's Day, and that can be found at the Rourke's website, therourke.org. We're looking for work related to generally Valentine's Day, but the specific theme for the Heart Show this year is I Want Candy. So
I have seen that.
Yeah. So we'll be accepting submissions for that until 11:59 p.m. this Thursday, the 25th of January.
I know Horizon Middle School is working on their musical Happy Days, and it will show February 29th through March 3rd.
And they're currently looking for a car, if anybody has one of that.
A little
that
motorcycle.
Anything? Theater B has, in about a month, a new show called Lobby Hero, opening February 23rd through March 10th, but that's a month away. I'll announce it again next month. Anything else? Is there a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, thank you. Motion and second to adjourn. See you next month.